Bit of something for everyone this weekend. We've got some flat action from Musselburgh and the jumpers from Haydock. You can see the man on my left, Jason Weaver, is going to go through the card up in Scotland. And then Joel on my right will talk about the jumpers at his local track, Haydock. Starting with Jason, though, Musselburgh, this decent card. It's been added, of course, the Goliath Cup moved the further flight from Nottingham to enhance it.
It's a cracking card, make no mistake. And when you've got... we always talk about the northern powerhouses, don't we? Whether it's a Carberg, the Fahey combination, Johnson, but the Hannon camp, they've decided to take a boatload up there as well. So there's lots of interest, especially in the juvenile division. Hannon bringing a 2-year-old all the way up to Scotland makes you sit up and have a little second look. But yeah, good racing all the way through.
And Joel Haydock, good money for those horses just below the top tier, second, third tier runners.
Yeah, it's good, and it's great to see the Veterans Chase as well here. I think I'm going to go tomorrow. Like I say, I'm only half an hour away. I've just spent a week in Tenerife, so it's a little bit chillier. But I might go tomorrow, have a little look. John Joe Senior's got one in the last race that I really like, and he always hangs around in the champagne bar afterwards. Jason will know if you speak to John Joe and he's pretty straight with you. I've asked him 3 times about a horse there, and he's gone, it'll win.
There you go. To be fair, John's Jr. asked him was going Haydock tomorrow. Maybe they are lining one up. I'll try and find out for you a little later on. All right, start with Jason then. 6 go to post for the Royal Mile, over a mile. Just 6 of them now. Kicking us off.
Not a bad little contest, though, is it? And I suppose, you got a couple of horses in here. Vincenzo Perugia, who looked really good when he won at Beverley, and then was sort of blown out of the water. But, when you cost 550,000 as a yearling, the pressure cooker, you're in there. But also, you've got the Ian Jardine runner, would look really good. He's actually a brother to Al Suhail. He was with the Charlie Appleby team. They picked him up for 25,000 after he pulled up. He looked really good early on. Don't underestimate him. But I quite like the angle in. The big weight turnaround, if you like. Strength of Spirit, 3.5 lengths behind the one up at Beverley. And he gets a £10 pull on official ratings. And listen, if you're going to ask who's got them straightest first time up, Carl Burke or Charlie Johnson, sadly, I think you'd have to say Carl Burke has them ripping and ready to go. So that's the way to lean for me.
Okay, in the Hamilton Silks then. Right, I'm going to stick with you because the second race we'll look at as well, also at Musselburgh. Then we'll go in time order and dovetail between you guys. But the Silver Arrow 155, it's not a great draw, but Guido, what an admirable 9-year-old this fella is when it comes to this track and trip.
He's an admirable, whichever way you want to put it. But he's pretty good. He loves it around here, doesn't he? And of course, he was second in this last year. Persuasion managed to win. You got Goldmoyne. He took the lion's share, or shared at 75,000 for Horse of the Month on the all-weather for the last month. So he's been in clover. And you got Royal Zabeel right at the top. He's off the back of a run over in Riyadh, where he got sort of back in the ruck in the kickback and could never get motivated from there. So he's better than that. James Doyle makes the long trek north. It is for his retainer, but one spin on the card for Hamed Al-Jahani in the Wathnan colours, a midnight gun. He went really, really close in the Lincoln last year behind Godwinson. That was off the back of the break. He goes well fresh, so I've got no worries with that whatsoever. He's a bit deep on the track in 8. He will be right up the tail of Guido, getting a nice toe in.
Yeah, interesting. Out wide in 10 Guido, 8 Midnight Gun, James Doyle, only ride on the card, as you say. Right, Joel, your time to shine then. We've got the 212, a 2-mile handicap hurdle. Christian Williams and Dan Skelton been in the news this week, and they've got a runner each in this.
Yeah, what I really like and what I don't like. I mean, Ace in the Veins has been so well back this week, but it's not a stable star, is it? 4th at Ludlow, out the back, down a couple of pounds for that. I just think at the minute, after Dan Skelton is now the new Tony Martin or Barney Curley, that people think that everything is being plotted. I think it's too short, Ace in the Veins, but I do really like Willie the Builder for Christian Williams. Totally outclassed in the county hurdle, Cheltenham. And when this horse puts it all together, he's held up, he creeps into it. So I think a beauty is like watching Paul Carberry or Timmy Murphy from back in the day, really, really good. Finished 4th at Musselburgh last time out, was only beaten 4 lengths, but there was excuses. Could have finished a lot closer, maybe couldn't have won, but it was hampered. The only thing to let that form down was Affordil was second. God, I don't know. I did this weekend again. Affordil, back the horse. It's coming. 255 grand, July 22, down the drain. But no, Willie the Builder, really like this around 91 for Christian.
Okay, Christian Williams there. You had a nice winner earlier on in the week. Right, back to you, Jason. The Goliath Cup. As it was formerly the Further Flight at Nottingham, and Al Kareem won that race at Nottingham. So technically, I suppose he's trying to retain his title, and he's a warm order to do so.
Yeah, and quite rightly so. Great to see Clifford Lee back. He was on death's door, wasn't he? He's done an incredible job at Jack Berry House, working himself back to fitness. And he just, I did have a good look back. Look, he's a 12-time winner. And I mean, 800,000. If he wins here, that'll take him up over the £800,000 mark. Why are we going to take him on, really? I suppose Lady Vivian down the bottom has improved her rating without winning. Kate O'Reilly looks as if she's just come up to fill the horse box up and is trying to just pinch and nick into 3rd spot, if you like, with an official rating of just 84. And then a couple of the others, the likes of Roaring Legend, formed behind Enemy, Mount Atlas, he was behind Hamish. And you got Many Men, who was second in the Melrose. That's not a bad bit of form, but he's probably going to have to step up again now he goes up in the age group, if you like. But Al Kareem, surely he's going to take a world of beating. And you know the nature of the track at Musselburgh. They'll come and challenge him off that turn, and he'll go again when he round the dog leg.
Yeah, point and shoot from the front, Al Kareem, imagine. It's great to have Clifford Lee back as well, as you mentioned. Right, Joel, we've got the stay-in handicap hurdle here. 9 of them set to go to post. And again, the Skeltons at the head of the market.
Yeah, different sort of horse. It probably showed its hand here. 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2. Testing. Yeah, Blue Carpet, top of the market. Again, too short for me. Nichols couldn't touch any of his horses at the minute. Might win, but just in and out. Walden, same with Tom Lacey. Just out of form, can't get him right. A trainer in tremendous form, probably the best form he's been in for donkey's years. Ernest Gray, Alan King, and Tom Bellamy. I just thought, look, when you go down here, this horse was last seen 20th of December at Haydock. Finished 6 and 9. Has been off since then. It shouldn't be a concern. Once his chance had gone, wasn't massively knocked around, and at the minute, Alan King, when he's in form, he's one of those ones you've just got to jump on. The only other one in here was Heather Honey. I was at Haydock on the 5th of March that day when it beat Hard Dealt by just over 2 lengths. Stayed on well. It was my only winner of the day that day. So I'd probably split my stakes in this race. Ernest Gray and Heather Honey, and maybe a little reverse forecast if I'm there.
Okay, going for it. Reverse forecast and a competitive little handicap. I like it. Right, back to you, Jason Musselburgh. And this is a race the Skeltons haven't missed out on either. They fancy having a bit of a tilt at the Queen's Cup with Gambino, who is last seen in the rearview mirrors of Constitution Hill.
Come on now, lads. Come on. Dan Skelton, right, can do no wrong. In the jumping sphere, he's walking on water, right? Landed a right punt the other day, didn't they? I think they had 3 at the one meeting, and then the last leg went in at Newcastle. Listen, you have to put a net up at the end of the straight to slow them down at the moment, right? That's how easy it is. Yet to have a flat winner. What's going on there? He's had a few runners as well, yet to have a flat runner. Remarkable, isn't it? So Gambino, interesting, but I think barge pole treatment for me, even though he's got the Ross Orion on. He's got the hoodoo on at the moment, hasn't it? Look, Wise Eagles are regular at this sort of level. McCoy, who's part of the Bramley operation, they send up Almuhit. He's a fascinating runner. He's quite a tough horse when he gets it all his way up on the front end. How many of these are prepping for the Chester Cup? That's what you've got to give your angle in, right? Are they going to be absolutely fit and ready to go? But I think that Moon Over Miami has probably got the profile to blow this race out of the water. Everybody will go, well, he's only won 3 from 6. Yeah, that is true. But where has he been beaten? On a synthetic. He's only going to have a little bit of the all-weather as he goes up around the top turn at Musselburgh. 3 from 3 on the turf. He could be absolutely thrown in from a mark of 93. Look, it's a decent pot on the way to Chester.
I like it. I like it. Giving the old Spanish Archer to Dan Skelton's Gambino as well. Not for Jason on their level. Right then, back to you, Joel. You love the veterans. This is a cracking contest. The Skeltons again are in here. Well, Milos, a former Hennessy winner. This is wide open. You're looking at around about 7-1 the field. It's a pin job, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it is. And you can have a couple of dips at this one. I did fall for an April Fool's joke because I'm sitting on my sun lounger with a beer last week. Kerry Lee, to the tweet that she put out about the new BHA initiative of they can put 18-year-olds into veteran races now. So here's a picture of Top Gamble. I'm like, oh, this is brilliant. This is lovely. I love these veterans races. He's fit and ready to go. And then I fell for a few this year.
It's hard to know what's an April Fool and what's real anymore.
Oh, no, just go with it. New mature in here. I mean, people will probably kick me because it's a 12-year-old, not a 10-year-old. For Heather Main and Richie McLernan, and you know, Richie's been around for donkey's years. I think he's getting so much better as he's getting towards the end of his career, and he seems like everybody loves him. This was last one at the end of March at Ascot. It's been pulled up 3 times since. However, it's below its last winning mark. He's had a wind up in November, and it's the second run off the wind up, which you know I do like. It was 4 for 9 last month at Exeter, but again, wasn't massively knocked around. I think Richie will try and make all here at around 12-1. It's a wide open race, but I'd have a little go on this. 12-1, 12-year-old for Heather Main and Richie McLernan.
Okay, all in. I like it, yeah. Big field, cracking contest that. Veterans handicap chase at 3:20. Right, back to you then, Jason. And it's one of those races, isn't it? Whose turn is it this time? It's the Scottish Sprint Cup over the minimum trip.
It's an absolute belter as well, isn't it? We got American Affair, who managed to win this last year, of course, you remember, and just went right through the grades. I mean, Democracy Dilemma, he's an absolute rocket, isn't he? But he's a 3.5 furlong, 4 furlong wonder. He just seems to come up for air late in the day. I suppose Rhythm and Hooves is interesting, but he's drawn out in stall number 2. Of course, he'll be out towards the far side of the track. High numbers favoured up against that stand side rail down over the minimum here. And well handicapped, Jabat. Safi Osborne comes in for the ride. She's actually got a decent book of rides up on the card. He drops down from 92 to 85. And of course, Pilgrim for the Baron team, but he won in Class 4 and it's now Class 2. The grade could just find him out. Oisin Murphy, Andrew Balding, Tropical Storm was a pretty good juvenile, not too bad last year either. And what has happened to get the focus again? What we all need, the cruelest cut of all. He's had the gelding operation to get him to focus, and hopefully he'll be straight and true. Oisin Murphy up at Musselburgh for the crowd.
You speak for yourself. I'm quite happy with mine at the minute. I think I'll leave them where they are. Thank you. Right then, let's take in the finale with Joel. The 3:55, 7 go to post. It's a handicap chase, but still going to find take some finding the winner.
Yeah. I mean, I thought this was going to be an ITV. No, it's 110 handicap chase. Rounded off the day with Imperial Bedder. There'll be some. I think it's Bedder or something like that, isn't it? I mean, people have called it Bede or Bed, but I was trying to be all exotic. Imperial Bedder. Yeah, B-Day, that's the one. It screams JP, down £14 from a couple of years ago. I had a bit of time off, but it's got some decent back class, to be honest. Did win at Catterick a couple of starts ago when the money was down. I think it went off 11-4, joint favourite from about 8. And it was 5th to 5th, 10-11 shot. Drifted out a little bit at Hereford in February. It jumped left throughout. It mangled the first, mistake second. And then it was sort of left alone to come home in its own time in 26 lengths. You know, it's a cliche, and we all hate him, but you do put a line through that. I think JP will be in the champagne bar waiting for this to go. We'll have a couple of glasses of champagne, get in the helicopter back to the castle. So, yeah, Imperial Bidder in the 3:55.
Okay, and I'm guessing, the way you said it at the start of the show, that'll be your best bet.
Yeah, 100%. It's difficult this week. I'll probably stick them in a little each way. Lucky 15. It's not for everyone. I'll do that, and then have a couple of quid on the JP horse in the last on ITV.
Lovely stuff. Right. And Jason, what will be your strongest bet on the card?
He's incredibly short, isn't he? But surely Al Kareem will gallop around there. He's going to love the track, isn't he? And there are a huge amount of positives for him. And yeah, look, he's the skinny one on the card. If you want one at a slightly stronger price, maybe Strength of Spirit in receipt of a good chunk of weight from the top horse in the opener. But yeah, Al Kareem, let's get him home with Clifford on board.
Yeah. I mean, he is short, but he's got so much. He's miles the best horse, and if he does hover around about even money, look, even money can be value if your horse is miles clear of the rest. It doesn't have to be a big price. I agree. I think what is he around about 4 to 5 at the minute as we're recording. Anything if he does go to around evens, I think he's a knocking bet. Al Kareem will take the world of beating in the Goliath Cup. Right, thanks, gents. Enjoy Musselburgh, Jason. Enjoy Haydock, Joel. 9 races on the ITV cameras to look forward to. Whatever you are backing, the very best of luck.